What up, Tin?
Good morning, Voodoo. How are you?
Good, man. Hey, did you see Mr. Master of the Physicals? Did you see uh, this
Oh, the
Chas
new
guy?
Chas guy. I bet you the wifey is pretty happy with that one. That
Um,
thing's crazy.
she did not tell me I had to throw it away, which has
Yeah.
been the case with most of my physicals. So I'm excited. She has not let me hang it up on a wall yet, but we're making progress. So
That's a nice one, man. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the Chas guy physicals.
dude, I love it, man. I'm so excited. And did you see Chas guy his video of him making a bucket hat?
No, but I
On
seen the picture of the bucket hat, and I need to add another. I think I need to add another one to the collection.
Well, I don't know if it's going to be one like that you can buy. I think it's just a one-on-one. Like he was literally just like he hand did the bucket hat, did a video on it. It's pretty sweet.
God, it's so crazy.
So I think because he's going to be in Austin at the South by Southwest party, and I think I'm just going to steal it from him. Like,
Do the Jake
uh,
Paul got your hat thing?
I don't know. Like if I have to drug him, punch him, I don't care. Whatever it takes. I'm gonna take the bucket hat. um, so man, obviously, it's a heavy day in the world. Hopping on Twitter, and everyone's just worried about what's happening. We're sending our thoughts and prayers to people in Ukraine, but just for just safety, and
Yeah.
that all the innocent people are you know that they can feel safe. I just wake up so blessed and lucky that I don't have to worry about my safety, period,
Right.
ever. And so we just take that for granted. And it's times like this where, man, yeah, there's a lot of pain going on in the world, but you also see a lot of unity coming together. You see a lot of people coming together with one heart, one mind to just send out love and thoughts and prayers to those affected. And so we had, we want to, obviously this is a business, we're here. I realize there's so many people that make their livings from NFTs. They don't just collect it as a hobby, but they make their livings being able to buy and to flip and to, and honestly, when the market's going down, it's nice to not have your JPEG values go down. And so, to be able to just provide a space where if anyone wants to tune in, learn more, we're going to keep working, we're going to keep building. But obviously, we realize that NFTs aren't the most important thing in the world, but they are providing a living for artists. They're providing a living for a lot of the collectors, and they've changed your life. They changed my life, and so we're excited to talk today with with Erebus from Erebus. I'm going to say it like 5 different ways
Yeah,
incorrectly.
Erebus. I know I started
With
that way too.
Erebus from the OperaHouse. So excited about everything they're doing. I know you've had a lot of discussions with the team and helping them kind of craft what they're building there. I'm excited to learn more myself. I've used it a few times, but I bought my first couple off there the other day, and so a great user experience. But I'm excited for what they're building, and so we want to do just a special episode of Alpha. But before we bring him on, did you want to say anything, or are we good to bring him on stage with us?
No, I think we're good to go. You said it perfectly. Yeah, I mean, we know what's going on in the world. We're very tapped into what's going on. But yeah, everybody's got to keep working. We do pray for safety for everybody, and it is one of those moments where you wake up and you're like, "Oh, you count your blessings on days like this."
Yeah. Oh, for sure. It's like somebody posted like, how are you holding up, or how are you doing with the market being down? I was like, man, when you change your perspective to realize that like how my illiquid shit coins are doing is not that big of a deal.
Yeah,
It helps. It helps. So, but Erebus, man, hey, thanks for coming on. Super excited to talk with you. You obviously have the best collection of everything behind you. Like you make my setup look very sad and pathetic.
this dude
But
was built. This dude was built to be a collector.
he is,
NFTs
man.
come easy.
This is all my wife's doing mainly. I just put it together. She does a lot of the buying of Funko Pops.
Really?
Yeah, and it was
Well,
her
there
idea
you
for the
go.
comic book wall.
That's
So
a cool wife you got there.
Is she just
yeah,
as into NFTs as you are, or no?
no, but she's heavy into gaming like I am. So she's got her gaming
Social.
setup right next to me.
That's
So I'm
awesome.
pretty lucky. I'm pretty lucky.
Yeah. Guys living the dream.
So
Yeah,
who's the better
trying.
gamer?
Definitely me. Definitely me.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
There you
Yeah,
go.
unless
Not,
she's
not
unless she does
afraid.
something by accident. She always finds a way to accidentally kill me.
Awesome, awesome. Well, tell us about your journey in NFTs. Like we were just talking about it, and I was happy to learn about that. You were the artist behind one of the projects that I've got. But then, with what's happened with the Opera House, kind of the genesis, how that started. I know you guys are in beta version right now, but your beta, I say beta because like 99% of or not just NFT projects, but crypto projects, their websites say beta because it's that's just we're all living in beta right now. But you're soon to be out of beta, I hear. So kind of tell us about that journey and where you guys are at now.
Well, we're I think 2 days into, like, I guess the second half of what we're calling it beta because we're not fully comfortable with how it is yet, and we've got a lot more that you can't actually see on the site right now. Like there's a secondary backend we're working on to help with loading speeds, and that's something that nobody can see or access right now. A lot of our features, like people have asked when are auctions going to be available, all that stuff. Those features will all be there, but they're not available for people to use right now. And we've got a lot more features that we're working on. I can't talk about some of them because no other marketplace has done them, and we kind of want to keep that as our first thing. But we're hoping to be out of beta end of March, like right around the end. I know Tinfoil has requested a bunch of features, which we've looked at, and we've seen the actual, it'd be extremely helpful to have those features. So we're implementing some of those. There a lot of community feature requests. We're adding those, and we also got a lot of partnership integrations. Different projects have created different parts for our website. Like we got Phantom Watches doing the live minting. Bobbleheads will be providing the rarity rank. Weaponized Countries is providing the sales bot, and I'm not trying to leave anyone out, but I know Dark Matter DeFi is going to be providing NFT staking options for different projects. So we're trying to do as much community integration as well as like community decisions too. So once we leave beta, the community will have more of a say in things because we'll be doing the votes using the Raccoon platoon, and then that's when we'll have the community making decisions on which new features we should put in, which features we should get rid of, things like that. But it's been
awesome.
pretty fun, pretty fun and stressful at the same time.
Well, I know you guys, I think the reason I like you all so much is that you move at such a fast speed in listening to what the community wants. Like there's another marketplace I'm thinking about that people have been asking for like rarity for forever. And, it's like, hey, in 2028, we're going to have rarity, so you get, you get teams that obviously like the tech. It's not easy to do what you guys are doing so quickly, but you're making it look easy. And I appreciate that. So it's always like, you're always just waiting on devs in this space, but you guys are actually like developing things very quickly. So, but I will say that you don't need to give Tin so much credit. It's okay if you can say, hey, those are some terrible ideas he had. We're not implementing them.
I've got a couple more to talk about during this.
Oh no!
But yeah,
Don't
dude,
put more
no,
work on my plate.
I love what you've been building so far. Yeah, that's what's kind of been mind blowing is like, you reach out, you're like, hey, check out this marketplace. Give me some feedback. All right, here's a couple things that I'd like. One of them being the profile thing. I really liked that about when RTN first came out. The idea of potentially social media-fying and being able to follow certain collectors and kind of watch what they're doing. It's something that I do on OpenSea. So I want to be able to do that on Phantom. Less than 24 hours later, you had that implemented. It's something I've been asking other marketplaces for months. Slothtopia came to you with a request. The idea of being able to show my collection while it's minting, but I don't want to be able to, list it yet until it's minted out. Implemented within 24 hours. Those awesome leaps that happen so fast in those upgrades, like that's how we fell in love with PaintSwap originally. was the idea, like those guys were always hanging out in the Discord, always hanging out in voice chats, taking feedback at all times. And then a couple days later, these things were implemented. But market happens, things get a little complacent. So now there's just so much awesome competition in the space that I love the idea that the next NFT bull run coming to Phantom, the plumbing is actually going to be in place for collectors from Ethereum, from other chains to come over and recognize the same tools that they were able to use on other chains, have them here, and then see our art quality and our project quality that's over here.
Yeah, a lot of the features that you're talking about, like one of the features you requested with the selective filter, to be able to hide collections when you don't want to see them.
Yep.
We actually would have implemented it faster. It just because it was like a 30-minute ad, but we try not to push too many updates because of website caching. We don't want it to, people to fall too far behind, because a lot of people don't realize that, doing a hard reload, especially if a website is in like a beta mode, there's going to be bugs, and it's always best to just make sure you're fresh on the freshest push. So if you got it cached, definitely, if you're on PC, it's like, I think it's Control F5. That's just a quick reload, but it definitely helps to stay on the current version. The caching helps for speed on for some people, but on others it seems to be a problem. And we are currently right now with what the marketplace is, it's like 85% straight blockchain, and we're adding some extra support on the back end to make sure that speeding, like our loading speeds, is faster for most people. Like, we're not gonna be able to take care of everybody, because some people's connections are just bad. So you'll be able to load as fast as your internet is, hopefully. But we're trying to add as many features that are requested. It's also fun, I'm enjoying it a lot.
The big pivot recently that we went, again, it came down to like, we were on a voice chat, kind of came up with the idea of like, hey, maybe we should just be kind of retroactively adding collections, because creators are so busy. The last thing that they're paying attention to is, adding their collection to a new marketplace. But we got into a great conversation about, okay, where do the collectors have the ability to have say here? Where do the creators get to have say here? Very awesome conversations to have. Conversations that I think need to happen more in the space. There's the aspect to, I think we almost need to, as creators, almost explain more to our potential buyers before, like, we drop a collection, in terms of like, do I want this collection? Do I want it listed before mint out? I mean, I don't really believe a creator should have the ability to, halt that. But as a community, if that sentiment is spread throughout the community, and the community agrees, like, together we're not going to, list these until we mint out. I think that's kind of the way to go. So I like, we took it to a community vote on Twitter, where it was like, are we going to add retroactive collections to OperaHouse? It went well. So collections are being added. I was super excited to see a massive list of new collections on OperaHouse, Ancestral Umans being one of them. I really like what you're building. It's just, again, you kind of know what the issues are in terms of loading speeds, but in terms of features, you could argue that OperaHouse has the most features out of any marketplace so far.
Well, we're trying to add as many features as we can, and with the collectors adding collections, the vast majority of them have been completely honest and put the correct information. They haven't tried to put their wallet address for royalties or any of that stuff. They're putting the right stuff, and that makes the job a lot easier, because we are checking them, and we're making sure that the payments are going to the right thing. The only one is when people are listing the EIP 2981. They don't know what to put there, and we currently don't actually support that, but we should in the next, I'd say, week or two. So we should also have 1155 support as well. So anybody who's listing those, you know, you can, if you're not sure, anybody who's listening, if you're listing a collection as a collector, if you don't know what to put for the royalty address, you can just put whatever, like just put "don't know" or something, and we'll find it. So we do our due diligence, and we make sure to honor, you know, creators' royalties and everything. But I think I own a ton of NFTs that OperaHouse doesn't show, and other than my marketplace, the only other one I use is NFT Key. I won't use Tofu because my browser just freezes. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't work right. And PaintSwap, it never loaded right for me. Like it always took way too long. So I started using NFT Key, but they were missing a lot of things that I wanted. So that's literally when I started making OperaHouse. When I was just like, you know, nobody was really listening to anybody, and this is missing, that's missing, this is missing. It'd be a lot easier, you know, if these things existed. And then when I was talking to the CEO of Nova, he was just like, well, why don't you just make it? And I was like, you know, are you going to fund it? And he was like, yeah, Nova's interested in having a marketplace. So I was like, okay. So then we started working on it. It wasn't actually just my idea. My buddy Drenton, who I've known since we were, you know, investing in Bitcoin way back in the day, like 2013, 2014. We've been building things in crypto together for a while now. So I'm happy to have him with us and working alongside me. But it's been a fun experience. Definitely a lot more work to do though.
Yeah, I mean that's been one of the issues. Like I'm sure Voodoo is experiencing the same issue because he buys NFTs like a crazy man now. But the idea that I can't, there's nowhere I can just view all my things like nicely. Like, you know, there's the aspect to like I have all these one of ones that are kind of mixed into these mass project collections, and there's nowhere that I can just all my NFTs pop up, and as I just nicely scroll through, it's like, all right, I can hide this collection. My crypto worms show up, and there's 200 of them. I can hide that. You know, there's 400 room pixies. I can hide that. Like, so I really like what you guys are doing with that feature. To me, it just came down to, not enough NFT collections being added. So the idea that, and you really took a moral stand of like, you know, we need to ask the community about this. I need to talk to creators about this. We need to make sure that royalty address is right. So I like all these, you know, these proper steps that you took to do this and put this in place, because now every day that total NFTs in my little corner just gets bigger and bigger as more collections get added, and I really like the features.
I've been watching your collection grow as features or as collections get listed because I'm following you on there. So I just randomly check people's collections and be like, what do they got? I wonder what I'd be interested in buying from them. So like that's one thing I do like about the social aspect. And one plan that we have that we want to implement, I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but we want to add like an NFT feed. So like there's some creators who are great artists, but they're not devs. They don't know how to set up a minting dApp. They get like a standard self mint contract from like the Strange Brew one, which is it's a good one. But it you know, it's not something that is super in depth, and we want to be able to give some exposure to smaller creators. So if they have like their artwork, they can put it up on the feed, and the more likes it gets, the higher, you know, the higher visibility it gets through the algorithm. So we're gonna hopefully get that added in, but that's gonna be, you know, probably after beta, I believe. But it's I want to try to help creators and collectors. Like I want to make it a community marketplace that's not solely focused on just profits, but you know, also the NFT space is just so much fun, and it's more than just, you know, investing. It's you know, you're supporting artists, you're making friends, you're hanging out. You know, there's a whole bunch of fun events like Web Nice Countries and your game night. Like there's all sorts of different things going on. It's just so much fun. So I want to create something where people can experience that same fun, you know.
Well, this is where I like where you're like partnering with other groups of people that are trying to bring value to the space. You know, the idea that you partnered up with Phantom Watch, which is a great group of guys, just
And girls.
spending so much, and girls spending so much time, you know, diving into the space, finding out what is minting. And you know, it's a problem that we've had in the space, is that nobody has had a hub to go find out what is going on in the Phantom ecosystem right now. So I really like that. You said you partnered with a Launchpad as well, which I think is awesome to see.
Yeah.
This kind of Theater DAO has a Launchpad coming as well, so it's great to see this kind of plumbing coming into the space because it's something that we didn't have the last NFT run on Phantom.
Well, that was another issue that I saw before I started working on it, is that there wasn't enough integration. I guess I think like every project, it was kind of it seemed like, and I know the people were actually, they were talking to each other, but it seemed like it was more every man for himself mentality. And Phantom is super new still, and there's still plenty of room, and people partnering could benefit the ecosystem as a whole, depending on what, because the more ideas that get flowed, like thrown around, the more talking that it's done, the more innovation happens. And in competition and innovation are the best things for a market. Like it always brings the best prices for consumers. It brings the best services and stuff for those prices. So I wanted to try to bring awareness to all the legitimate projects that I saw that wanted to partner. I'm not saying that every project that we're not partnering with isn't legitimate. I'm just saying that the ones who wanted to partner, who have been contacting us and asking, and some of them just took it upon themselves too. Like Weaponized Countries, they said, "Hey, you don't have a sales bot. Do you need one?" And then they just made one. It's almost done, and I'm very very impressed with that. And then Bobbleheads, they'll be providing our rarity scores, our rarity ranks, and all these people have all these platforms that could all be beneficial. So I just wanted to start integrating with the community. That way, it's more of a community marketplace.
I love it. I mean, we at Potluck love both those teams at Weaponized Countries and Bobbleheads. Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, we know the markets are down big time right now, but that is kind of there's a bright side to this. The idea that there is going to be a whole group of people that are going to get in at prices that I honestly didn't think we'd ever see again, that are going to get into this market now with the plumbing in place, to have all these tools, to have trusted members in this space. I think it's awesome how much this NFT space has progressed. Like when I'm just scrolling through my Twitter feed, the amount of people that I follow that I'm just genuinely seeing like good information being put out, like on Twitter. That there wasn't that many people doing that 6 months ago. I really see this as a bright future for our space.
One really cool thing that I love about the Phantom community is that the NFT community as a whole actually is that they're so quick to catch scams. They're so fast to catch on to people. Like we recently found out that a collection I had listed with us, brand new collection, and I'm not too caught up with Ethereum or Solana NFTs or any of that stuff, because I've been keeping my focus on Phantom. But when that Doggo FTM one came out, and then the original creators like, "Yo, this is just straight stolen," we removed it in a few seconds. We had it gone. And I love the fact that people, they just keep coming to us, with concerns and asking if this one's a scam, that one's a scam. And I'm not going to say something is a scam unless I see proof that it's a scam. But I'm also going to not say something isn't a scam unless I see, certain proofs, like proof of creation, things like that. And then, of course, I'll check the contract, look for malicious code just out of habit, because I've been rugged a couple times with some tokens. So I try to avoid any kind of scam possible. But the community as a whole is pretty great.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So Voodoo, what are some of the features that like you want to see in a marketplace? I don't think we've ever had this conversation really.
Well, right now I just set up my profile on there, so now people can.
Do you need me to unlock your name?
If they want. So I don't know. Maybe I did it different, but I did the _ True Voodoo, just like my Twitter. So I don't know if you all just had True Voodoo, but you can keep holding that for me too. But I think it's set up right. It looks like it's set up. So yeah, I got that set up. And then I also realized we don't have the creatures too on there. So I just told Plot Twist that while he's not busy producing our show, to go ahead and get all the serums and creatures on there. But man, so I struggle with this as far as like, well, what do I really want? Because really all I want is for it to be easy to search for collections, and I want to be able to hide like all the like when I'm looking for certain things, like I can't use Paint Swap to look for my NFTs anymore just because it's a pain. So I want to be able to hide what I've got. I like the way NFT Key has it as well, where I can like look at all my different collections and then just click one. That's okay. But I'm looking at yours right now and just going through and looking at mine. So being able to hide things, awesome. I just want the images to load quickly. And I know you guys are working on that. Like that's one of the really big advantages of NFT Key over Paint Swap is the fact that they kind of preload all the images, I guess. So it doesn't take, it's like you said, as fast as your internet works. But I'm really just feeling spoiled and grateful because I've been on Tezos for the last week, spending like all my fiat. I just am like obsessed with all the art I'm finding, but they have like 20 marketplaces and they are all the worst marketplaces you could possibly imagine. Like there's not one decent feature. It's impossible to find anything. They're horrible. You can't figure out what's for sale, what's not for sale. You can't sort by price. You can't do, I mean, they're the worst, but you can, if you're willing to go through it, you can find some diamonds in the rough. So I've just been there scouting artists and trying to find us some, but it has made me, once I come back to Phantom marketplaces, very, very grateful. So I don't really have anything else besides what you guys are already doing. Like, and I'm sure there's other things I'll think of, but I think that, it's on the right track and everything is going pretty nicely. And I never thought about, actually, I was against, and you remember from our previous conversation, I was like, I don't know if I want people tracking my NFT stuff. Like, I don't know if I want that. The reality is they can do that anyways. Like on Paint Swap, if they know one NFT you have, they can just kind of keep your wallet address and track it. But I just never had that experience on OpenSea. I wasn't following collectors, but I actually think that's really a good thing to have, especially for people trying to get into the space, to be able to follow certain wallets that they trust to say, hey, what are they actually doing? And I think that's very transparent. Like I have no problem with people actually knowing what I do. I'm just like, I don't want to offend somebody if I'm like, oh, I flipped their NFT for a profit. But I do like the transparency in that, people could see that, because people have claimed that we're like pumping, not me. They would never claim anything like this about me, but people have claimed in the past that like Tinfoil was just like being paid to do these projects or would pump them up and then they would go to nothing, which is a baseless claim. But the fact that you could follow his wallet, you can see that that's, it's not the case. And you can be like, the guy is not selling any of these. He's not the one dumping on you. So I think it really helps the honest actors in the space, and it helps newer people. So I really do like that feature, and I'm excited that you guys at this point exclusively have it. I think that's a huge advantage. So I've come around on that idea, especially even on those on the Tezos ones. You can create profiles, and what I thought was really cool in connecting. So tell me if it works like this. But when somebody buys an NFT, is there any type of notification to the seller that, like, if they have a profile set up that, hey, True Voodoo bought the NFT, is that functionality set up? Because on Tezos, it is. So I keep getting all these tweets from all these projects saying, hey, this one and this one was bought. Thank you, True Voodoo, for your support or whatever. And I just thought that was a really cool way for me to connect with their communities and for them to connect with the buyers. So I don't know if that functionality is available, but that would be something that I would like to see.
We do have plans for like push notifications for when you get sales. It's not on the priority list right now, but it is part of the social integration list.
Yeah.
We're gonna, if you're following someone, one thing we wanted to avoid is like Artion. If you follow someone or you follow a collection or like it, you'll get an email every time something is listed or every time something is sold. Like it gets annoying. Like one of my inboxes is just filled with Artion stuff because when I first came here, I hopped on Artion and I followed a few. Then I had to go and unfollow everything, and I was like, no, I don't want this. So we want to try to, I guess, kind of avoid that. What I was more thinking about is putting a message message list on the site. So when you check it, you'll see, when something was sold, if something was sold, and who bought it. But I don't think push notifications or email notifications are the way to go because that does get really annoying.
No, I could definitely go without the email notifications.
Yeah.
But I do,
I think it would
yeah, I
just
do like
be
the idea of a notification, like even if you get offers on stuff, because that's something I've noticed on PaintSwap is that you know, there's a couple weeks I don't check PaintSwap, and there was an offer on something that like maybe I would have pulled the trigger on it had I known that there was an offer. And I even in the Phantom Maxi chat, we got guys all the time like, who is this wallet? I've had my 3,000 Fanties locked up for 26 days on some offer that the guy had no idea about.
Well, I think we're going to be doing. We're not going to quite put the offers in. There's been a lot of scams that happen with the offers. They have to deposit money. You'll have to deposit. And we want to try to, as much as we can, avoid people putting anything into our contract or our wallets. We want to try to just mainly keep it peer to peer, and just facilitate that.
I think
Some
that's
things
good.
some things we will have to use wrapped phantom for. For example, auctions. We don't want someone to bid and then pay just for the NFT have been sold on PaintSwap or NFT key. And so the best way to avoid that is to have wrap phantom, and then if we go to process the transaction and it doesn't go through, we send the wrap phantom right back.
Right.
So that's the way we're going to go about doing the auctions. I think everything else, though, is putting offers in and locking up money with the offers. We don't want to do that. I think it's a ridiculous thing, because a lot of times people do forget to even check their offers, and then people are like, hey, all my money's tied up in this, now I can't mint this, and it's frustrating.
The saddest moment of my NFT life was like a couple months ago, and I had something listed for like really high on OpenSea. It was listed for like 4.5 ETH, something I bought for 0.8. And so I had it listed to where like, hey, if this sells, I'm gonna be happy about it. And so then I'm on the way to this party and like gathering of friends, and I'm sitting in the car, so I check my email, and I see I have an offer on OpenSea for 3.8 or 3.9 ETH. Maybe it was 4. No, it was like 4. It was 4 ETH, man. It was going to be like $15,000. Like, it was huge. I was so excited. And I was like, man, I can't wait to get to the house. I got to get on my laptop. I got to get this. Like, I got to do it. So then I get there, and I'm like telling everyone, I'm like, this is a big deal. I'm about to make $15,000 right here, right now. Everybody watch. That's how NFTs work. And it was like, this offer expired 3 hours ago. Because it was like a 1 hour, I guess it was a 1 hour offer or something, but I didn't get like, I don't get push notifications on my email, or my phone will blow up. So yeah, I'm jaded against offers, because the only one I ever got, all of them are super low. I get emails on OpenSea 20 times a day for the lowest crappy offers, just a waste of, like you said, just inbox full of it. The one time I got a good one, it expired, and I was poor. I still remain poor. So
I see the value in being able to do offers, but I've also seen on PaintSwap, like, people put in offers on things like 8-bit, and they'll, instead of saying like 8,000 or something, it'll say like 8.00000, and then people mistakenly accept those types of offers. And I don't know. I'm not really one for offers. Like, if I want something at a better price, I'll get it on auction, or I'll contact them or try to contact them.
That's been the issue, is like, how do you contact them? And that's where the social media-fying things does help. Like, the idea that you have profiles attached to your wallet. My Twitter is right there. If you want to send me an offer on something, well, yeah, you know where to contact me. Something on PaintSwap, that's not the case. It's just like, you have to do all this research on who the hell is this wallet? How do I get in contact with this person?
That's a great point, because that's how I got in touch with the artist to try to like recruit them to Phantom on Tezos, is because their profiles, like the artist profile, includes the social media stuff and everything, but also like, you don't need offers if people set up profiles, and you can look through their collection and then say, okay, I'll just hit them up on Twitter, and that's perfect. I think that's awesome.
And for people who don't want to give their information, nothing in the profile is required. You could set your username for whatever. You don't have to put any information. It doesn't say you're required to put this, you're required to put that. The only requirement in the profile,
the
only requirements are on it. The only requirements is if you decide that you want to have the premium URL, which just helps support us a little bit. it changes your URL from operahouse.com/profile/wallet address to, instead of wallet address, it's your username. And you know, it's really cheap. It's like 3 Phantom, especially now it's really cheap. But it gives you that extra link, the human readable link. It makes it, you know, easier to remember. And the only thing required for that is just to have a username, and that's it, and pay the 3 Phantom. But we didn't want to put like requirements like you have to put your email address or this or that, because even though we may send emails, 99% chance we're never going to send an email out to anybody who's put their email address. It's just there in case, you know, we create a list like, hey, do you want to know when our votes are going live or when we're voting? But you can also check that in Discord too. So, you know, all these things are going to be optional. I don't want to force people into anything. You know, I want to keep it open. I want to give people the choice to decide how their profile looks. And I've been throwing around the idea, should we have customizable banners on the profiles so that people can change the background of their banner?
Yes.
Because there's a ton of Banner Buddies is about to launch, and you know, maybe people want to put their banner up there too. So, you know, there's still so much we can do.
100%. Yeah, banners would be really cool because we've got engraved spirits banners, we've got Fatbird banners,
I got so many Fatbird banners.
Yeah.
So many.
No, I would. Yeah, I think kind of social mediafying it adds a lot of fun to it all. I do like your concept of like the messages like in sight. Even just that feature on. I'm almost thinking, yeah, because even you could send offers through that where it's like a quick like DM insight sort of thing.
Well,
I don't know. I do like that concept.
One thing I've been kicking around is some people don't want to set up a profile, so they'll still share their profile with their friends and stuff. And if somebody doesn't set up a profile and you want to reach out and contact them to buy one of the NFTs they have, you won't be able to because you won't have any information to contact them. So one thing that I've been kicking around is the ability to send a message on the site, send messages back and forth, and that's definitely either messages or comments. But if it was public comments, then, you know, we'd have to put some censoring, I guess, on what you can say.
They've got that on Rarible, the messages on Rarible, because I was on there for Tezos and then trying to contact an artist who I couldn't find the Twitter. And so it's like, oh, hey, you can send a message, but then it just never works. Like it's just a buggy feature, I guess, but that would be cool to be able to do that. A question though, for anyone about the premium feature, what is the only reason to pay 3 Phantom with your profile to get a link that is like says your name, or is that like the only way to actually like lock up the fact that you have this name, somebody else can't copy it, or what's the advantage of paying that 3 Phantom?
Right now, the only advantage is the URL. I do have, and I don't want to say them out in the open, I do have a couple premium features that we're going to add. Some, I guess, some extras for people who have the premium profile. But they're more going to be like convenience features. Nothing that's required to use the site. We'll never make people pay to use the site, other than, you know, our small fee on successful sales.
Okay, so can you? I just decided to change mine to just the True Voodoo. So do you have to unlock it because it says it already exists? What do I do?
I do have to unlock it. I just gotta find it. Because now we have so many profiles.
Well, luckily, there's like a 5-second delay between this broadcast and the people listening, and so I have about 5-second window to capture it before somebody else. So it's risky. We're doing a risky play here, but I'm in.
Right, you should be good just to use straight True Voodoo with no underline or anything.
Go, people.
Yes, I got it. I secured it. Forget all you in the chat. Bush Doctor, Old Man Mikey, Illuminati Congo, all of you trying to steal my identity. You didn't get it.
Let me just verify that you indeed have it locked on it. Let's see. Yep, looks like you're good.
Boom. Just like that. Live on air.
Yep.
Just like that.
Yeah, we can. We also, crazy thing is, we can, as long as all the information is correct, it takes us less than 30 seconds to approve a collection. So we're trying to get it to the point where nobody has to sit there and wait. They can contact us and be like, hey, we've listed, but we want to wait on going live until this time. Or then they can say, hey, put it live, and we could just click the button, then you just control F5 and it'll be there right away. So
That's awesome.
we've got
So
a
you
pretty
have
nice
a
back end on it.
you have a Google form out for collectors right now. Where can they find that if they wanted to fill that out to get a collection?
In the resources tab, we don't have a Google Forms. It's just you just go to the resources, you fill out all the information, and once it's approved and live, the owner wallet actually has access. You'll see on the banner it says Edit Collection. You can change your banners, description, all that stuff is now in the creator's hands. So as long as they log in with the owner wallet, they'll be able to update the collection and change it.
Oh, cool.
So that's another. I think that feature was requested. I don't remember who requested that feature, but we've added quite a few requests that Slotopia, Tinfoil, we've added quite a few features. A lot of people aren't even reaching out for features. They just say, hey, this would be great. And then we're just like, all right, we'll slap it on the list. They haven't requested it officially, but it did seem like a good idea. It goes on the list. So we're working hard to try to keep the community involved in it. And because at the end of the day, we want it to be a community marketplace, not, we are a for-profit company, but I love the NFT space, and it was me and Drenton's brainchild, and we just wanted to make something that's more affordable. Because like I saw something sold on NFT Key the other day that, I saw, I think it was like 800 Phantom, and I was like, so they paid 16 Phantom in fees as opposed to 8 Phantom in fees, and I was like, I mean, it starts to add up though when you trade enough, and it's as a collector myself, it's kind of frustrating when I sell and I have to pay a massive fee along with like a 10% royalty. And personally, I try to avoid the large royalty collections. Like I've seen a couple that are like 15% royalties. I'm like, holy, like,
I know. We had that conversation where it's like, at the kind of the beginning of the marketplaces when the first NFT creators started realizing like, oh, I can just put whatever royalty I want. And then there was creators trying to put 15%, 20%, 10%. And then it was just like, I was probably making more money than they were escrowing their collections.
Yeah, I think so. We kept the royalties through our site for ERC 1155 and 721 at 15%, but I think we're going to drop it to 10% because I don't think 15%, especially on like smaller collections, is like smaller price collections, is just absurd sometimes. And most creators, the only people who do 15% that I've seen are creators who are brand spanking new to NFTs.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the experienced creators, they don't go above 5%. Like 7% I'd say is around the average, but 15% is mostly just, the new guys, and they don't know that people will look at that and be like, I don't want that. Like when one of the ones I bought, and I see that it's a 15% royalty, I'm like, well, I'm never selling it. I'm just gonna keep it.
Yeah.
And that's just this is my personal thing though. I'll just hold it. But most of my NFTs I actually just hold. I do a lot of giveaways too. I give things randomly away to people.
We feel that.
I've kind of balanced out at 200. I don't have anywhere near as many as you guys do.
Yeah, I'm up to, I don't know, nowhere near 10s levels, but I'm up to like 1,200 something is what Tofu says that I have. So who knows what I really have. I think that's it, but I don't know.
Hey, there's still wallets in this space that I'm chasing. So
well, hopefully they sign up on OperaHouse and you'll be able to find out who it is, and you can be like, hey, sell me this, sell me that.
yeah, honestly. No, there's been pieces that I've, from the Tomb Heads auction. It's been quite a long time since the very first Tomb Heads auction, and there's pieces that I remember going up in those auction houses that I would love to be able to find again and reach out to the bidders and try to get hands on again.
When I go into the Tomb Head auctions, like I've only been in a couple, I've only participated in a couple, but when I go in, I know there's certain people when they start bidding, don't even bother. Like I give up. I'm just like, nope, there's no way to win.
This dude is one of them.
I know. The only way to win against Voodoo, from what I've heard, is hope that he's AFK.
Yeah. There are plenty of people in there that squash my bids, like a bug. But luckily, Tweak's been out of the auctions mostly lately. He's just been chilling on the sidelines, and so that's made it a little easier. But then, you have other whales who just step in one week and buy literally every piece, and you're like, it's kind of fun just to watch. At least it's good for the artists, Bad for us
100%.
collectors, but good for them.
So Bush Doctor asked a question in chat. I just checked it. I guess he wanted to know if we could put a chat or a message box in auctions. That's an interesting idea. Like in the live auctions, whether it's a 3-day or 7-day, put a comment section for people to talk. I just see that as it possibly could end up shit talking, and that's all it is. But it might be cool. I don't know. That's something we'd probably put to a vote, because it's not really like a necessary feature. But
I mean,
definitely a decent idea.
That's the way I win the auctions at Tombheads is shit talking to people.
Yeah.
So get some.
But I mean, if we didn't do it, I mean, and you'll be able to see who's bidding, so you could probably send them a message too, and just be like, "Hey, back off,"
Yeah,
so,
take the war to Twitter.
Yeah, that'd be cool if we had like an NFT Twitter that didn't ban tinfoil every day.
One day.
Yeah, one day.
Yeah,
but
one day this will be the only place he has 12,000 followers is on OperaHouse.
Yeah. I think I'm winning on followers right now, though. I think I've got 24 followers.
Oh, nice.
So I'm racking them up every time I try to get people to follow me. So
That's pretty impressive, man. Pretty impressive.
But right now, we are working on a secondary. So with the loading speed, we're going to try to be like on par with NFT keys speed, but the fact that they have to download the assets locally, and when you mint, it can take up to 3 hours to see the NFT. To me, I thought that was a little absurd, and I don't personally like that. I don't like waiting 3 hours to check out what I have. So we'll try to keep everything like as on chain as possible and use less local resources. So hopefully, our next part, we'll be able to get the speeds close to it, but I don't think we'll be like at their level as far as speed. I think we'll be just slightly slower all the time. At least as far as image loading, because we load the JSONs instantly, so that's not an issue. But the images, if somebody makes like a 4K image, it's gonna load a little slower. It is what it is.
Are you gonna be doing like 3D files similar to Oeuvre?
3D files?
Yeah. So I don't know if you ever used Oeuvre. So the ZooCoin team, which developed the first marketplace on Phantom, they have moved focus from Zoo to Oeuvre, which, they have like, it's like 3D ability. So you can like grab a file and move it around.
Oh, we already have that.
Oh, do you? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we've had the 3D models. You can view those just fine. If you check Slothopia, it displays as an image on the collection itself, and then when you go into the individual NFT, it will show the model.
You move around.
And we've actually, since day one, or I'd say some model formats we didn't support until a little while ago. But like just about, we had the interactive and like model support since day one, because I have my own 3D, like my own game that I'm making, and I wanted to make sure we supported that. So we have all that support there, and you can view literally just about anything. The biggest issue that we have, honestly, in my opinion, is anything hosted on Amazon always seems to cause us problems. Like it's annoying. We always get like rate limited, and we end up with like 404s, and that's the frustrating part, I guess. And anything on iOS has been a big problem too.
Mm-hmm.
But we're trying to fix them, a little bit at a time. We just want to make sure we get the core functionality done first before we start moving on to UI things. And I know a lot of people have issues with some of the UI bugs that we have. Like when you list something for sale, it might pop up that it's for sale for 0 Phantom, even though it's not. That's on the blockchain. It's just the UI isn't updating properly, so it's not like a priority for us to fix now, because the functionality is there. We'll beautify the site and we'll make it look better and make things reload faster. But like overall, we just want to make sure that we can make it functional and secure. Because lucky for us, we got OpenSea to look for what not to do.
Yeah. Do you have a timeline at all on potentially like when this will be kind of out of beta and in your initial kind of happy phase?
I want to say end of March is that's the
Oh
goal.
shit. Well,
we still have, I'd say, thousands and thousands of hours, like man hours, working hours to put into it. But we use, so we're going to have our own secondary backend, but we also have Morales added as our backend, which Morales has been great. It's very helpful and saved a lot of time and money, but not quite enough time or money, you know?
mhm.
So we're trying to add this secondary backend to help with functionality and improve speeds, kind of optimize the site better. What are you doing? Go away. Go away. Oh. My dog just walked in here.
Get me on camera.
Say hi. Come here. Come here, bud. Ah, here we go. Say hi.
Oh, nice. He's beautiful.
Not the smartest
he a
cookie, though.
Was he a pit bull? What?
He's just a pit bull.
Just pit bull. Nice.
Yeah. But
I wouldn't be allowed to. I wouldn't be allowed to have him here.
Oh, I mean, people don't like pit bulls, but they're good dogs. He's dumb. If my wife pretends to hit me, he'll bring a toy to try to defuse the situation. I don't know why, but my dog's a pacifist. But as far as like what features you can expect to see in the next couple weeks, auctions, a couple of features, hopefully the couple of features that you've asked for should be there. More social aspects, I believe we should have up soon. Once we finish our secondary backend, we should have the rarity rankings, which is going to be a different calculation. I don't remember exactly how they calculate it, but it's going to be bobbleheads. And then the sales bot will be up, and I believe the sales bot will also show things listed too if you want it to. But I'd have to get with Weaponized Countries about that. And better speeds, definitely. We're going to have better speeds hopefully here soon. I mean, we already load pretty fast, but we're not NFT key fast. And I don't think we'll get to exactly their speed, but very close to it. So hopefully, I mean, we might get there if we decide to put a little bit extra effort, you know. But if it ends up being like it costs more than it's worth, we're probably not going to end up doing it.
Yeah. Now I'm looking forward to what you guys are bringing. Like I said, like I like all the features. It's just been, for me, a lot of it's been just getting more collections added, which is, you know, the steps are in place for that to happen now.
Yeah, it's happening slowly. I think a lot of collections, though, a lot of them don't want to list if they're not minted out, and I believe that they think that can hurt their minting, which is why we added the ability for, you know, creators to lock the collection to not be sold until they're minted out, because we put rules on that. Like, we're not going to let you lock it for more than 30 days, and if you mint out, we're going to unlock it. They don't get to decide that part, because we want to protect creators, but we also want to protect collectors. We want to make it, you know, keep the community safe, and if they want to sell it, they can sell it. I mean, they could, you know, they'll find a way to sell it if they want to sell it. You know, they'll go through someone.
Yeah, I like that feature. I think that's very fair. Even those rules are fair. Well, I don't know if you can approve it or if it's already been approved, but we just realized we got the creatures, the serums, super serums, all those contracts submitted. Plot Twist was doing that in the back end. So if you want to trade those on OperaHouse, go for it. I think the fact that you'll be able to search through, I want to look through all the traits, you know, and just like search by trades to do all that. It's going to be awesome. But we're right at an hour. I don't know. Were there any closing thoughts that either of you had, or anything that we haven't discussed that we need to? I feel like we covered a lot.
Yeah, I would just say to creators and collectors to get these collections listed.
So
Yeah,
your Creatures
I
of
want to
Caves,
view my NFTs.
Creatures of the Cave, the serums, the super serums, Creatures of the Cave 2. I mean, they're now live too already.
Let's go. Look at that speed.
So they should. Oh my god! But the banners. Oh, the banner. Whoever submitted it, you can log in and adjust the banner to look a little better if you want.
Plot twist, get on that. As soon as we
plot
hang up
twist.
here, you better get on it. Can't have
But
some ugly banners.
like I said, it literally is a button click for me. As long as you guys have filled out the information right, it will function fine. And if you didn't, you can. The only thing that the creators can't change right now is the collection address and the owner address. In order to do that, you have to contact us, because that's, that has to do with the royalties and everything, and we don't want that just to be changed randomly. We don't want, like, if someone sets a 6% royalty and then people are like, all right, cool, I don't have to pay 6%, and then they go in and they change it to, well, I want 15% sent to this random address. So
yeah.
So it should be, as far as your collections, it could be, operahouse.online/collection/ the collection name with no spaces, or the contract address. So that'll work either way. And the trait filter is working on it. So that's fun.
All right. Well, I'm excited. I'm fired up. I'm going to be on there a bunch today looking around. And as the new collection added, excited. But thanks for coming on, and thanks for what you're doing for the ecosystem and just the competitiveness with the marketplaces. This is getting the plumbing in place for when there's a lot of buyers, a lot of users. Having great NFT marketplaces is one of the, I think, maybe the single most crucial aspect. It's the only crucial aspect that we haven't had. And what you and NFT Key have done have been incredible steps forward. And now, even PaintSwap is having to step up their game to want to continue like being the big dog. And so I'm excited to see, I have no problem with there being 3 marketplaces that are all pushing the other ones to get better and better. But with the level of adaptation and how quickly you guys are developing, I see a clear front runner and where I place my bets. So I'm super excited, man. Thank you for coming on, and we'll be talking very soon, I'm sure.
Well, I'll definitely be in Tin's next game night, that's for sure. But it's been fun being on here, man. I appreciate you guys, and I love your mint parties. They're always fun.
Hey, we got one tomorrow.
Unless there's technical difficulty. There's technical difficulties, then I get bored, and I'll be like, I'll be back later.
Hey, that was not 6.5 hours because of technical difficulties. We just wanted to test how loyal and committed our community was. Okay. So
well, then I failed after about an hour and a half.
That's pretty,
I couldn't put off work much longer.
Look, tomorrow is a simple mint. 777 should go pretty quick for the Dead family. Super excited about it. Plus, we're going to be unveiling at the mint party Chris Dyer's 101 that he did with Jack Schur. So we'll be auctioning that at the AVAX launch, I believe. But super excited to show you, Tinfoil. I know you're excited about it. I got the image waiting in my Discord.
Let's go.
All right, man. Well, hey, thank you. It's been another great special edition of NFT Alpha with the OperaHouse team. One man of the team, so super excited. Yeah. Hey, got to work late nights in crypto. All right. Yeah. We'll talk with you later.
All right. Later.